You're listening to Cam.Health, a podcast for complementary and alternative medicine, where we explore all things in and outside the mainstreams of traditional medicine. Today my guest is Lee Holmes. Lee's the director at Supercharge Food. She's a certified nutritionist, a health coach, yoga teacher, whole foods chef, a columnist for Wellbeing magazine, and the best-selling author of the Supercharged Food series. Lee, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure. Now, Lee, our topic today is the gut. And it's one of those things that, 10 years ago it was just a derogatory term. Now it's a critical part of our well-being. So tell us, how do we go about supercharging the gut?
Supercharging the gut, there's a number of things that you can do to supercharge your gut. Obviously, as you mentioned, the gut really is the engine room. It's the epicenter to health, and it's connected to so many other parts of your body, your immune system, your brain, your mood, your thyroid, your sleep. So all of those different areas your gut is connected to. So you can do things to really restore and balance out your gut microbiome. So you can eat things, you can rest, you can do a little bit of exercise. It's a very holistic picture, gut health. So it's not just really just about what you're eating.
Now, I was fascinated to hear recently someone say that everything we eat has been eaten before we get it by the biome in our gut.
Yeah, we are almost outnumbered with our gut microbiome and sort of bacteria within our body. So what happens is your gut microflora, I liken it to an Amazonian rainforest. So you've got this beautiful ecosystem that's happening within your gut, and you've got the flora, the trees, the butterflies, the birds. You've got the ground, the soil. The soil really is your gut immune system. So building that up is a really good thing to do with things like, with really good foods, and also with things like colostrum, with zinc, with really immune-boosting kind of ingredients as well. And then you have the trees in the Amazonian rainforest, and they are your good bacteria in the gut. And you can actually feed those by eating things that are really like fermented foods. You can do kefir, yogurt, all those kind of fermented foods. Kimchi is one of them as well. Sauerkraut's another one. But those good bacteria need to be fed. And what their food, what they like to eat is prebiotic-rich kind of veggies and prebiotic fibers and resistant starches. So those kinds of foods are things like onion, chicory, asparagus, peas, garlic. There's a lot of those beautiful prebiotic-rich veggies. Sweet potato is another one. So it really is an ecosystem, and just looking at each area of that ecosystem, you can really build it up. And what you aim to do is get your gut microflora in balance. Some of the things that kind of throw that balance off are taking antibiotics, heavy drinking, a lot of stress as well. Environmental toxins can sort of turn that balance into the negative. So you want to try and repopulate the gut with good bacteria and good foods.
Lee, how long does that repopulation take?
It really depends. It's very different for everybody. So depending on the current state of their gut right now, you can really supercharge it. And it doesn't have to be a lengthy process. You can do it just in a slow kind of way, but just gently with little things every day. So, for example, some people really find raw foods hard to digest. So a couple of days a week, if you were to do cooked foods or more sort of blended or squished or slow-cooked foods, it's going to be a lot gentler on the gut. You're going to absorb it a lot better. And that way, that's just a simple thing that you can do, a simple change you can make a couple of times a week to eat less raw food, and that will really help your gut as well. So, and you can do it gently over a period of time. You don't have to go on to a crazy fad diet where you're drinking juices and eating things that you can't even pronounce. You can just do it simply with everyday food.
Now, I was listening to you talking about the kind of foods there that are kind to your gut, and I thought, nowhere has she mentioned French fries and barbecue chicken. So what will I eat now? What are the recipes that you can make it sound more appealing for me?
I mean, stir fries are really good. I don't know if you like stir fries, but they're really good, sort of bento boxes, those kinds of things. Good fats are really good for the gut. So things like, if you like bone broth, I don't know if you like bone broth, but you can take a little bit of that. You can put that into recipes that make soups and curries. Curries are really good. Curries also contain spices, turmeric, which is very anti-inflammatory for the gut immune system, which is a really good ingredient to have. And you can make things like healthy muffins and bliss balls and things like that are also good for the gut. So you can find foods that are healthy but taste good.
Well, it sounds better when you put it into the foods that I'm familiar with, like curries and things. Lee,
yeah.
you've put together a 4-stage process for healing the gut. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So the 4-stage process, I'm going to be talking about that at Wanderlust this weekend in Brisbane, which is really exciting. And it really is about, for stage 1, it's just about taking out the things that really irritate your gut. So you want to get back to a very neutral position with your gut. So say, for example, for me, MSG is a problematic ingredient. I take that out for a period of 4 weeks and I just rest my gut. So my gut immune system isn't triggering on all these foods that it can't really recognize or absorb. So it's a process of just resting the gut, having that kind of gentle diet for about 4 weeks, lots of soups and smoothies, lots of slow-cooked things and curries and things like that that are really going to settle the gut down. Once you've done that, it's really all about cleansing the body. Stage 2, so you're going to be wanting to hydrate a little bit better, drink a bit more water. I have a Love Your Gut powder, which I actually take. It's my own product. And that sort of cleans the gut, gets rid of a lot of the heavy metals, bacteria, fungus, and parasites that are going on in there. So cleansing it, there are different ways that you can do that as well. And I'm going to be talking a bit more about that at Wanderlust. And then stage 3 is really all about the repopulation stage, and that is eating good prebiotic and probiotic-rich foods. And then stage 4, interestingly, is really all about stress and the way that stress impacts the gut and your gut health and your gut microbiome, so finding ways to stress less. For
those people who are like me, a bit ignorant of these things, what's the difference between prebiotic and probiotic?
Yeah, so prebiotic-rich foods, they're the food for your good bacteria in the gut. So I mentioned a few of them before. There's asparagus, there's green beans. So they're prebiotic-rich fibers. They are like the food for good bacteria. So they feed the good bacteria, make it grow, make it bigger. And probiotics are your good bacteria in the gut. So they are the ones that help you keep your weight down, keep your energy, keep you feeling so that you can digest your food better, just keep you generally in balance in your gut.
Now, I'm pleased you mentioned a couple of the symptoms there, because my next question, how do you know when you haven't loved your gut enough and it's not working well? Now, I can imagine that diarrhea or constipation is one of the effects, but I'm pretty earthy. So what are the other symptoms that people might be familiar with?
So they might find that after eating they get really tired. They might find that they get bloated, pain in the tummy, that they can't sort of really digest their food properly, so they're kind of in a lot more pain or more inflamed than usual. And some of the other symptoms which are a bit out there are like skin disruptions. So you might come out in a rash if you've eaten something that doesn't agree with you, and those kinds of things. So, yeah, there are a few of them.
Lee, it is a whole new world for some people, and I think it's one of those worlds that more and more we're going to have to pay attention to. It's been a pleasure having a chat with you this morning. I do appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you so much. And if you want to get any recipes, you can go on to superchargedfood.com. There are plenty of gut-friendly recipes on there.
Let me just give you that website again in case you missed it. It's www.superchargedfood.com. And there you can find the recipes from our guest this morning, Lee Holmes, the director at Supercharged Food. Lee's been talking to us about your gut and how to love it a little bit more. You're listening to Cam.Health, the Complementary and Alternative Medicine podcast.